What's up, guys? No, he's an hour early, but Justin's not live, so I figured I'd jump on. Since ain't much going on tonight. I didn't send out any invites. For anybody to join me, so sorry about that. But had a little work I need to get done. Got some new scale material in. Looks a lot better when it's sanded. It's very rough cut right now, so it's kind of, it's a little bit, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. But check it out. These are all book mats. Pretty cool stuff. I wanted to show y'all a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I showed y'all the materials. And again, since I'm sure Bees isn't here, he wants this to be a total surprise, but there's those Bees blades, honeycomb scales on his knife. Turned out really nice. Excited to see him unbox that. I gotta get it off to laser, all that good stuff. I gotta get the rest of these thugs handles put on. I'd like to have these at least well on their way to Alaska within the next 10 to 14 days. So we got a little work to do. You know, it's hard to believe how ugly they are when you first scale them up. But that'll all get better. So we do have to, we're going to be doing a bunch of gluing and epoxying tonight for the most part. That's what I've got going on. The weather's perfect. It's about 68 degrees. Something like that. I guess you guys can't see, but really not much to see here. We're just mixing up epoxy. I'm just measuring it by weight on this little scale right here. So I know I get the exact same of part A and part B. I went a little over on that one, so I gotta go back to this one. Add a tad bit to it. There we go. All right. Well, you know what? Actually, I want some more of this color, so I've got another project to do with it. If I can ever get them exactly the same. You're dealing in tenths of ounces, though. That scale changes very quickly. Got my No-Con blue from Eye Candy. This is by far the best color of blue and a mica powder that money can buy, in my opinion. It is absolutely beautiful. I've almost used this whole jar, so I bought another jar and bought the bigger jar, because I've used more of this than I have any other color by far. Just gonna get this stirred up. Won't be long, I'll have to take all this epoxy stuff back home again, because it's going to start being too cool in here to do epoxy work. Wife will definitely be excited about that, having all this crap at the house again. But the thing I like about that, though, is, you know, even when I'm not in the shop working, you know, even when I'm low energy, don't feel good, whatever, I can do this anytime. I like not having to come all the way to the shop just to stir some epoxy up. So now we're going to tape this one up so we can pour these pins. And I'm going to pour the rest in this mold really thinly to make me some liners, because I want some liners in this color. Very important that you get that tape rubbed down and stuck really good, because you don't want it leaking through, making a mess all over the damn table. Even though I am going to put it in this mold, so just in case it does leak, it don't leak all over the place. What am I looking for? There we go. That'll work perfect. So now that I've got the backside taped, I'm just going to pour it into these holes. And that will actually, you know, the scales are already bonded to the blade, but this will bind the scales to one another. My hands are not steady tonight for some reason. Very shaky. There. Just so y'all can see what I did there. And we'll let that's gonna have to sit for 24 hours or so before it can be messed with at all. Really, the longer it sits, the better. 48 hours is even better. I'm gonna take the rest of this and pour it into this mold. I'm actually gonna look and see if I've got another mold. I'll probably get 2 sets out of this. I don't have enough for 4. I got enough for 3 though. Kind of move it around, let it. Make sure it fills the entire mold. Now, we'll leave those set for a couple of days. And those will be future liners. Get them out of over here away from where all the dust happens. They'll be somewhat firm in a couple of hours, but now I gotta attach liners to scales. So this is my plan. I'm gonna put a blue liner on that green and white scale. Just give it a little contrast, make it a little different. It's hard to, it gets difficult to be creative after a while, man. It seems like you just run out of interesting ideas, you know. It can get quite taxing after a while. Just trying to come up with something new. Everybody loves new. Everybody loves different. Because I don't really have any interest in making black G10 handles on a knife. I've done it. Well, that knife of B's, that's what it was. And I asked him to send it back so I could redo it. Yeah, it just bores me. If it bores me, then I don't want to sell it. I've got a couple of the thugs done. Well, they like just final touch up, ready to go to Alaska. I got one of them right here. And this is one that I made the scales, everything myself on. So this is one of the ones headed to Alaska. This one was going, this has got the black marble looking handles with blue pins. So those two are pretty much finished. Getting ready to head to Alaska, and I got this one. I just poured it, yeah. So we still got several to go. Got a good bit of work to do. Move that back over here. Sundays always feel off to me when Justin and Molly don't go live. Stevie, yeah, man, and if they don't, it's 100% my fault. You know, I wish I could work. I wish I could just work 4 hours a day every day. If I could manage to do that, I'd be able to get more than enough done. But I just can't. So, what's going on over here? We got some power. Yeah, everything's dead. Let's go to the breaker box, see what meathead is doing. Maybe that's it. I don't know what that went to. I'm hoping it for over here. This whole wall over here was dead. Tis not. That didn't do it. Hang on a second. I'm gonna go cut that breaker back off since I don't know what it went to. I don't know what's going on. I'll see if I can get some power though. So Stevie, are you in Idaho, I'm assuming? Looked like the picture you sent me earlier, looks like you may have been in Idaho. That'd be my guess. Oh, I see. Not a breaker problem. It's over my extension cord. Actually, he didn't borrow my extension cord. He reclaimed his extension cord. So everything was unplugged. All I'm doing, I don't have any heavy grinding to do tonight, but when I pour these liners, as you can see, it has a little lip around the edges, and I have to knock those off before I attach them to a scale. Yo, Ryan. Oh, Kyle already deleting messages. Apparently somebody's being an asshole. Don't be assholes. Don't make Kyle delete you. Don't give the man the pleasure of booting your ass, because he will. I know y'all can't really see. I apologize. I'm just putting tape down to mix my epoxy on so I can glue these scales and liners together. Gotta get me a stir stick though. There's one right there. Move my weight down there. Now all I'm gonna do is dab this on there, get it nice and coated. Then lay my scale right on top of it. This isn't extremely fast acting, so you have a few minutes to work with it. You don't have to be in a huge hurry. Get that one done. So lay it on there. I like to kind of move it around, make sure I've got it epoxy a little bit of everywhere there. The only problem with doing it this way is you do waste a lot. It all gets smeared around. A lot of it's wasted. It's still on the tape. Because these are so thin, they're a little difficult to clamp. But my girl Riley, I don't even know where she came up with it, asked me if I thought I could use this weight, and it's perfect. Pretty heavy, probably weighs, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds, maybe. It's solid steel. That's really good. Setting that on there, letting those, letting those harden up. I got some other scales here that have been hardening. Give me just a second. Knock the edge off these. So kind of hard to tell right now. They're not. Well, let me touch them up a little bit more on the belt so I can show you what these are supposed to look like. Give you a little better idea of what we're working with here. What this is, this is walnut with a white G10 spacer and Scotch-Brite micarta. Yeah, that's a blue Scotch-Brite pad infused in resin, all on a white liner. Comes out very hard, very tough material, tougher than the wood. And I'll be using those as a knife scale as well. But I gotta get them shaped up before I put them on a knife, so we'll do that right quick. And you know what? We're gonna switch liners. So now that we have them both squared up, you know what? I rent these. These are no good. Spent all that time making them, and I 100% ruined them. I'm just going to show you how. You guys notice these are exactly the same? Well, they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be opposing. So now when they go on the knife, they're going to look like that. So, yeah, these are no good. Ruined. I don't feel too bad about it. It's this whole segmented scales thing is new to me. I'm still learning it, so I don't feel too bad that I messed it up. I only feel bad because it's the second time I've done it, as in second time I've messed the set up. So, did you see that, Kyle? What I did? I made them exactly the same. They're supposed to oppose one another. So when you put them on the knife, you see the lines? There's no fixing that. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just ruined. I mean, I can make another set if I can nail it exactly and oppose both of those, but I don't know, I'm a little frustrated. A little frustrated right at the moment, knowing that I did that. Flip them toe to heel and have some contrast. That's not a bad idea, Kyle. But you guys already know it now. I already admitted it. Flip them toe to heel. Kyle, sometimes you're surprisingly supportive. Oh, wait. That's funny. I'm gonna get some airflow in here. It's starting to get a little stucky. Shouldn't need a fan. Just like 68 degrees, but the shop's still holding some heat. Happy accidents. Yeah, Joe. I got to get with you soon. I've got something. Well, looks like me had moved it. I'm not sure where they're at, but I've got something here that I'm going to need your professional advice on. I've got some mammoth molar to talk to you about. Not ready right this minute, but I will be soon. I guess we'll do some more getting scales ready. We got plenty more thugs to do. But we got 5 more over here awaiting handles. Six more. Here's another one. Awaiting handles. So even if we can't put any on tonight, we can certainly get the scales ready to be put on. So we're just gonna copy this scale to this sheet of liner material so I can cut it out. Figure out where my scissors are. There they are. I was blown away when I found out you can cut G10 this thin with scissors, but I need to make me a necklace out of this to remind me that I'm a dumbass sometimes. That really pisses me off. I was really excited about those. Sure was. Nothing to be excited about now, though. I gotta move these. This table's not quite flat enough. Do them somewhere a little flatter. Yeah. This marble block, lay these other two down. This should look a little familiar. This color combination here is what I did on Cheeto's fret. But these are going on a Thug, so. Same scale combo, different knife. At least that's the plan. Well, that's kind of pretty, isn't it? We may do one of those. Let's see, so we got to mix up some epoxy. I just used my, there we go. Sorry I'm not very engaging with the chat. It's hard to work and read chat too. But I know the majority of y'all show up here to hang out and talk to each other anyway, so it's all good. I could have went live from the house tonight, but man, I'd have been really upset with myself if I didn't come get something done today. I've just not been nearly as productive as I've needed to be. Ever since I had that stent put in, I've been having some issues with getting dizzy. I talked to my heart doctor, and he said he really doesn't think it's heart related. He doesn't think it has anything to do with the stent. When they did the stent, they kind of got on to me about my blood sugar again and told me they wanted me to lose some weight. So I started back on my Ozempic, which I haven't been on for months. And I've lost 22 pounds in 3 weeks. But Ozempic, you're supposed to ramp your way up on the dosage. You're supposed to start at 1.0, work your way to 1.5 to 2.0 to 2.5. Well, I jumped straight back in and went straight to a 2.0 dose. And they're pretty sure that's what's causing my dizziness. So, which makes sense. You know, not the doctor's fault. I didn't bother telling him that I hadn't been taking it for months. I just started back taking it without informing him of that. So I'm pretty sure that's what was causing my dizzy spells. Let me go get these under something heavy, press them down. Anyway, like I said, that was my fault. And I didn't do it thinking, oh, it'll be fine. it kind of slipped my mind that I was supposed to ramp my way back up, and I didn't. So that's just how it happened. In all honesty, guys, there's not a whole lot more I can do right now, because now all we've got to do is wait on Father Time and get this this epoxy work done, or to get it to harden. I'm waiting on this to drip out of this cup. It's already starting to get thick. Then I'm gonna sit down and interact with you guys for a minute. See what y'all got going on. All right, let me go turn the outside lights on. I want to go sit in the swing, talk at y'all for a bit. Turn the outside lights on where I can see. So I mean, like that kind of stuff I just did, I can do that at home. That's what I was doing last winter. I was doing all my epoxy work at the house, at the hizzy. H to the Izzo. See if I can knock these spider webs off before I sit down. Still dark, huh? What we got going on in the chat? Bugsy. I got a new hot sauce bottled up. Guys, Bugsy's got the hot sauce. Hit him up. Now's not the time to get quiet, guys. What are we going to talk about while we're waiting on the epoxy to harden? Actually, I'm going to give it a few minutes. I am going to go back in there and do some grinding. I got some kitchen knives I need to get ground, so I can do that. Do that tonight. Still pissed off about them scales, man. That's kind of ruins my motivation for the night. Read my last comment to save your scales. LOL. See if I can find it, Dylan. In case I don't, though, text it to me. Bro, put another G10 liner on the top and counter them. We saved. And more layers. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm grasping what you're saying, Dylan, so text me about that. I mean, they're still in there. I may be able to do something with them. But. Oh! Oh! Yeah, I can just glue a liner on the top of it, because that'll flip it over. Yeah, yes! Yes, Dylan! Yes! I would have never in a million years thought of that, dude. All I gotta do is put the liner on top, and that inverts it, and then I can just grind that bottom liner off. Guys, this is why Dylan Mallory is the man. Look, what he's talking about is put a white liner on this side, and that inverts the scale to make it, yes! You just made my night, Dylan. That is so cool. I would have never thought of that, man. Yeah, all I've got to do is that, and then when I'll grind this off. Yep. Hell yeah. Thank goodness for Dylan Mallory. Man, I can't believe it's that easy, and it never crossed my mind. It is, dude. Dylan just made my night, man. Like, literally had me down. You guys have no idea. Not because not because the material was wasted, but because I was stupid. I messed that up. And Dylan comes along and just fixes it like it's nothing. Ha! I can do that right now. That won't take 5 minutes. The genius that is Dylan Mallory. You guys want to know how to solve the world's problems? Just call Dylan. He'll figure it out. And it's effortless too. Like, that literally took nothing. Please don't call me. That's hilarious. Oh man, I can't believe it was that easy. Because you're gonna grind the face off the scale anyway as you're fitting it to the knife and finishing it. Hey, let me go grab my glasses, guys. I don't know who I'm trying to kid acting like I can read this without glasses. What's upsetting was after I made that mistake the first time, I've made a set since then and was very cautious not to do that again. But then the very next ones, and that last set that I messed up, I literally destroyed trying to take it back apart. I'm hoping to the G Carta tomorrow. I have it tracked it though. That'd be awesome, man. Sorry, but in those cost a $5 super chat. You trying to sell my nipples again, Kyle? What's up, Brian F? How you doing, buddy? Can you get a tour? Okay. It's not my building. It's my brother Meathead's. We'll scan the front. And that Coke machine is not for public use. I'm sure it's gonna have beer in it eventually. But yeah, we're starting over here in this corner. We got a man lift, big wall of shelving, boat motor stand. There's my workbench and the back door. We got a 4-post lift that's not installed yet. And this is the back wall where all the toolboxes are. There's the 100-mile-an-hour bass boat. You think I'm kidding, I'm not. It'll literally run 100 miles an hour. There's the dual drum wood burning heater, which only heats right around it. Here's the really nice shop bathroom. There's the big screen up on the wall and the surround sound system. There's Meathead's Harley truck. We're fixing to get ready to repaint. Then it's got 3 bay doors across the front, big enough to fit, full-size diesel truck. I don't know what this size is. He was here a couple of weeks ago, and we asked, and he said, I think 40 by 80, maybe? I don't remember. It's a big-ass shop. It's a big place. Then there's a 2,400 square foot living space attached to the other end that I can't show you because it doesn't have electricity in it yet. Yeah, it's you know, me and Meathead have worked out of some pretty shitty shops, you know, throughout the years or whatever hobby we were in at the time, and this is definitely the culmination of, you know, his dream, and he made it happen. So I'm really proud for him. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, the only issue that being this big, like I was talking to Keith and Ifrey, and he lives up north, so he has a lot colder temperatures to deal with than I do, but I think him and Aries both have fairly small shops, but the advantage of that is they can warm them. This one, when it gets cold, it's so big, you can't, you just can't, you can't heat it, not with that wood burning heater. And if you had gas in here, God, it costs so much to heat this place. Seems like you need an electrician, yeah. He's got one. I don't know where they're at on that. I think they've got the panel in and all that. They were supposed to kill the power to the shop for a couple of days to get the power into the panel inside. I haven't heard anything else about that in a little bit. Yeah, nobody needs an electrician. Code is more of a suggestion. You're 100% right. This is not only in Alabama, but in the county, you get out of city limits, man, there ain't no telling what you might find some redneck has done to supply power to wherever it is he's working. I've seen some crazy shit, man. I've literally seen entire shops that were wired on like Walmart quality extension cords that some guy got from the thrift store. Just bought the whole basket full and just twisting the wires together and taping it up to keep it going. Ryan's right too. Nobody needs an knife sharpener, Kyle. It's merely an option. Oh yeah, Slayer. I've seen some crazy, like there's. I'm not going to say there's no code inspector in most counties in Alabama, or in a lot of states. Honestly, that's why people want to live in the county. But it's very relaxed. I'll put it that way. You know, if you go 2 blocks that way and get within the city limits, you know, building permits, all that stuff changes. Everything gets more expensive and more scrutinized. But you get outside the city limits, damn near do what you want. I know people that I've known my whole lives whose toilet literally just drains into a field 100 yards back behind their house. You know, they don't throw toilet paper in there, and you can't tell it because that whole acre of property is so fertile and covered in briar and hickory and brush that you can't get back there. You can't smell it. Like I said, you couldn't get away with that anywhere else, but you know. Slayer, my workbench is a fucking disaster right now. If you're wondering why I didn't put the camera up on the bench pointing down to what I was doing, that's why. It's embarrassingly bad right this minute. And I'm fixing to get up and go in there, and maybe that's what I need to do. I need to, yeah, let's do that now. We'll go, since a complete stranger, a complete newbie to the live stream showed up and made fun of my table, I guess I'll go clean it up because it's bad. Because I'm doing all this epoxy work on my table. That's not where I'm supposed to even be doing this. I don't typically do epoxy work over here. This is not where this is supposed to be going on that. So we'll get all this junk off the table and back over there where it belongs. I still can't believe how easy that was, Dylan. It almost pisses me off that it was that simple and I didn't think of it. That's the result of being old. You start to lose some of those critical thinking skills. Because I certainly did in that instance. Never even crossed my mind. I bet you were sitting there on your keyboard like, just banging away thinking, dumbass, read this, read this. Because I would have been. Meghead did something with my, not my, I apologize again, I gotta quit saying that. With his leaf blower, that's usually what I use to blow all this debris off the table, clean up with, but now I'm not sure where it's at. Usually when he hides something from me, it's because he wants me to stop using it for whatever reason. I do have a knife right here. I forgot about that. We can work on that one. Get that one finished up tonight. There's just steel laying around everywhere. There's keep running across bars of magnet cut and crew wear, just laying around in random spots. But I don't have to order steel for a little bit. Here's a bar of magnet cut. And this box over here. Let's see what we do have. Just out of curiosity. We got a bar of magnet cut, another bar of magnet cut, a bar of S90V, a 2-inch bar of S90V. This is Ryan Ellis's kitchen knife. That's why it's 2 inches. Have to get a little wider piece of steel to make kitchen knives, guys. If not, you won't have enough finger clearance under the handle. I really wish I could get 2.5-inch bars for kitchen knives. Two's pushing it. At 2, you're really close to being. Too narrow. We'll move all these C-clamps over there. Don't need all this laying around here. Can't believe a stranger changed me into. It's all got to be cleaned up eventually, though, dude. There's down 8-inch thick layer of material dust. Literally everywhere. It's everywhere. And I'm sure Meghead's not happy about it. Let's take a look at this knife. We'll get this on the grinder. Get this cleaned up, see if. Sometimes doing it this way, I have to redo it. I'm curious to see how it turned out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo that one. There's a dirty spot in that for some reason. I'm just gonna order. I don't think I got any more white G10 pins. I'm gonna order some and redo that. I'm not happy with that at all. Don't like it. Not a fan. So I guess I can go ahead and drill those out because that didn't work out. That didn't work out at all like I wanted it to. I'll get some white G10 pins on the way to put back in that because it's got a white liner. If you can see it, it's a very thin white liner, but so let's get one of these kitchen knives. We'll get it ground. You guys seem to like the sparkly stuff. Brand new 36 grit Norton blades. I've only been using the Norton blades a short amount of time, but so far I am very impressed. Oh, I still got the very last forest to finish up. We can do that. I didn't realize it was still in the clamp. I remember now my belt wore out and I stopped. Now we got a brand new one. I'll flip it over, do the other side. This side turned out really nice. I'll show y'all before I flip it. This is the Dillon Mallory Forest fixed blade. Nice grind lines. If you've been around any amount of times, you know I am a fan of belt satin. Gotta move the screw. I put the screw in my way. I put it in the wrong hole, guys.
Ordered in a used jig Wednesday. This $26 Amazon jig lasted me a lot longer than I ever thought it would, but it's time. But it has definitely served itself. It served its purpose. For those of you who are new here, if you're wondering why I keep turning to my left, I'm dipping the knife in water. It's already heat treated, so we have to keep it cool. Paul, I apologize if I hadn't got back with you, but if that guy F'd you over, the knife community needs to know about it. They, at the very least, need to know that that dude don't know what the fuck he's doing. He ruined that expensive piece of steel. That's why I never got it. I knew that was going to happen. But I've seen other people in the community talking about it. If he did what I think he did, People need to know about it. Whether you paid him or not, it's a fact that he's dishonest just because he told you he shipped it and he never did. That old boy had watched too much Forged in Fire, Paul. There's 16,000. I want to get it down to about 8. speaking of forging and fire, guys, we will be doing some carbon steel heat treating this week. You get to see us take it out of the oven and all red hot, dip it in oil. That'll work right there. So that ought to be interesting. I don't know if any of you guys have watched any of the interviews with that dude that used to be on Forged in Fire and got into all that drama about how fake that show is. It is entertaining. I've watched it. But when you find out that it's all a scam, it's all fixed, kind of ruins it for me. When old dude would no longer be a part of the dishonesty, they railroaded his ass out of there. There's no landscaping done here, bud. It's still, his whole lot is either overgrown or gravel. That's still to come. Are we talking about Maddie's Wednesday Live? No. I don't know. I wasn't there for Maddie's Wednesday Live, but I'm talking about them exposing Forged in Fire for being... It's just a TV show, man. They're just there to entertain and sell advertising and... Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, those guys are really making knives, but, you know, it makes it easy, I guess, when somebody's knife breaks. But I think it mainly had to do with like regular Joes versus the judges. And the guy literally way outdid Ben Abbott, and they still announced Ben as the winner. And he just the host just couldn't handle it. He's like, I can't be part of this. But like I said, you know, if you take it for what it is, it's a television show, it's supposed to be fun. And you know, I'll give it credit. It got a lot of people back interested in knives. And the whole forging process, I don't do all that. I don't beat out steel on a power hammer. I don't understand putting forth that much effort to make a lesser tool. But that talent needs to remain just in case one day we have to go back to it. Like, somebody needs to know how to do it. But the end result is always going to be a lesser tool. Yeah, Ben, and I'm not bad-mouthing Ben, man. You know, that's the show's producers who make those decisions. But you know, it is what it is. It's all bullshit. But I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be around tonight. I gotta go visit I gotta go see my daughter for a minute. I don't want to show up at midnight, so I mostly just wanted to come in and get those scales epoxied up, so when I come back tomorrow or the next day, they'll be completely cured so I can work with them. And I'm glad I found out that the pins didn't work on that one. I gotta order some pin material. So, Meathead, you got that place lit up like Hotel 6. Yeah, I got the outside lights on. But I'm fixing to close her down. But man, I can't find the leaf blower. We can talk about that later. But I apologize you had to move some of my stuff. I seen y'all come got that little table my knives were sitting on. But and I appreciate you hiding that mammoth molar for me. Just not where I left it.
But anyway, I'm gonna go, I guess. Go see what she's got going on. It sounded pretty important. I told her I'd ride by. You can't use it anymore. You just blow the shit all the rest of the shop. I knew that was gonna be your answer. I knew when I couldn't find it that that you'd hit it for a reason. Dylan, I appreciate you, man. You made my night, dude. You absolutely did. That was perfect, man. That worked out so good. But anyway, well, all right, guys, y'all have a good one, man. I'm gonna call it. Go check on her, see what she needs, and I'll see y'all again in a day or two. I'll be back.